So welcome to the next lecture on the matrix method of structural analysis. Now we will start unit number 4, that is steepness matrix method for continuous beams. So we know that steepness matrix method is based on the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure. Already we have solved the numerical examples of bars and trusses using steepness matrix method. Steepness definition also we have already covered in bar structure. Steepness is force required to give the unit displacement, right? So before starting the numerical examples, first we will go through the kinematic indeterminacy of various supports again, which are used in the beam and frame structures. So that again you will briefly recall all those kinematic unknowns, how to take the kinematic unknowns at different support, and finally how to calculate the degree of kinematic indeterminacy, DOKI. Okay? If you remember, already we are discussing the flexibility, various supports used in the beams and frames, and what are the static reactions for those various supports. Now similarly, we will discuss what are the various kinematic unknowns at various supports, right? So, if you remember our flexibility lecture, there are 5 different types of supports we have discussed. So supports and kinematic unknowns, right? Kinematic unknowns we will discuss in 2 parts, for beam as well as frame. Now supports, the first support is hinge support. So if hinge support is provided at any point of the beam or frame, hinge means horizontal as well as vertical displacements are always 0. But rotation is allowed. It means at hinge support there is only one kinematic unknown, and that is rotation. If that support is provided either hinge or frame, in beam or frame, in both the cases, at hinge support there is only one unknown, and that is theta. Okay, horizontal and vertical displacements are 0 at hinge support. Second support is roller support. If roller support is provided in beam or frame, if a roller support is provided in beam, roller support means it allows the horizontal displacement. It allows horizontal displacement if roller support is provided like this. But we know that beam is always subjected to vertically downward forces, and therefore there is no chance of any point moving horizontally. So though it is a roller support, but in case of beam there is no horizontal displacement. Of course there is no vertical displacement because it is a support. So it means if a roller support is provided in beam, again there is no horizontal displacement because there is no horizontal force, and there is no vertical displacement also because it is a vertically upward support provided. Vertical reaction is present in roller support which act as a support to the vertical point. That's why vertical displacement is always equal to 0 in beam. and horizontal is 0 because there is no horizontal force in the beam, right? So in case of beam, when roller support is provided, same, only one unknown, and that is rotation. Again, kinematic unknown is only one in case of beam, and that is rotation. But the same roller support, when it is provided in the frame, then kinematic unknowns become 2. If it is a frame, since frame is subjected to horizontal as well as vertical forces, because of horizontal force, any point of the frame can move horizontally, and that's why horizontal displacement at a roller support is possible. And therefore, in case of frame, if a roller support is provided, there are two kinematic unknowns, theta and delta. That is horizontal displacement. Okay? That is second support, roller. Then third type of support is fixed support. If fixed support is provided, we know that fixed means there is no translation. Translation means displacements. There is no translation, there is no rotation. Okay? All the kinematic unknowns are 0 at fixed support. So therefore, in both the structures, beam as well as frame, if fixed support is provided, kinematic indeterminate unknowns are 0. Okay? These are the 3 regular supports. There are 2 more. Fourth one is a spring support. Spring support behave like a simple support. Simple means hinge. It behave like a simple hinge support. But since a spring is having ability to deform, if a vertical spring is provided at beam, it will compress. Compress means the point where spring is connected, that point can move vertically downward because of vertical deformation of the spring. It means, though it behaves like a simple support, but there is a vertical displacement which is nothing but vertical compression of the spring. So at a spring support, there are 2 kinematic unknowns. Theta, it means spring support can rotate as well as spring can deform. So there is a delta. So there are 2 kinematic unknowns at spring support. In both the cases, beam as well as frame. There is one more support. Which is called as guided support. Or it is also called as slider. So guided support or slider. Now what is the meaning of this support? This support is normally provided at the end of the structure. At the end of the structure, like this. End. Like this, it is always provided at the end of this structure, beam or frame. Now, what is the meaning of this support is, when this beam or frame is subjected to external forces. This point, this end point of the beam or frame is allowed to move vertically up and down. This slider or guided support allows this point to move vertically up and down. Vertically up and down. It means vertical displacement is allowed. Vertical displacement of the point is allowed. But remember, guided support or slider support does not allow that point to rotate. Okay, there is no rotation. There is only one kinematic unknown, and that is vertical displacement. There is only one unknown, and that is delta, vertical displacement. Okay? So these are the different five types of supports which are normally used in the beam and frame structure. So understand the kinematic unknowns. Understand kinematic unknowns at each point. If it is hinge support, if that hinge support is provided in beam, if that hinge support is provided in beam, there is only rotation. There is only rotation, as well as if hinge support is provided in frame, there is again one unknown, and that is rotation. Okay. Second type of support is the roller support. If roller support is provided in beam, again there is only one unknown. There is only one unknown, and that is theta. Though it is a roller support and it allows horizontal displacement, but in case of beam, since load is always vertically downward, the horizontal displacement at any point is always 0. And that's why there is only one unknown, theta, in case of beam. But the same roller support, when it is provided in case of frame, then there are two unknowns. There are two unknowns, theta and horizontal displacement delta. Okay. If it is a fixed support provided in beam or frame, we know that fixed means there is no translation, no displacement means translation means displacement. There is no translation, no rotation. So at fixed support, it is always 0. At fixed support, dki is always 0. Degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Kinematic unknowns are 0 at fixed support. Fourth support is spring support. If a spring is provided at beam, if spring is provided in the structure, since spring behave like a simple support, that is hinge support, there is a rotation, and since spring will compress because of vertically downward forces, spring will deform. The vertical deformation of the spring, that is delta, is the second unknown. So if the spring support is used in the beam or frame structure, there are two unknowns, theta and delta. Okay? Same in case of frame, theta and delta. Next support is guided support. Guided support means it allows the point to move vertically up and down. Only allow point to move vertically up and down. It does not allow to rotate. Means rotation is equal to 0. There is no rotation. There is only vertical displacement. So in case of guided support, there is only one unknown, delta, which is vertical displacement in both the cases, beam as well as frame. And guided support is normally always provided at the end point of the structure. Okay, so these are the various types of supports. Understand the kinematic unknowns. If a question is asked to calculate the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure, you must know at which point, at various supports, how many kinematic unknowns are there, and use these values to calculate the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure. There is one more support which is called as internal hinge. Okay, internal hinge. So if internal hinge is provided, internal hinge. So we know that internal hinge is always shown with the dark circle. Okay, internal hinge is always shown with the dark circle. So if internal hinge is provided, there are three kinematic unknowns at internal hinge. It may be beam or it may be frame. There are three kinematic unknowns in case of internal hinge. Two rotation and one displacement. So total unknowns in internal hinge are three: two rotations and one displacement. If you look at the example, if you take one fixed beam, it has one internal hinge. Now if you want to calculate what is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of this beam, it is 0 at left fixed support because it is fixed. It is 0 at fixed support, right fixed support. Now at this point, there are three unknowns. One rotation is of A to B span, which is called as theta BA. One rotation is of B to C span. It means at this point, internal hinge, the left and right portion of that internal hinge will subjected to different rotations. And that's why these two rotations are different. This is one theta 1 and this is theta 2. Theta 1 means theta BA and theta 2 means theta BC. And of course, since it is an internal hinge, because of external load, there is a vertical displacement. So third unknown is delta. So at internal hinge, there are three kinematic unknowns. Okay, two rotations and one vertical displacement. Okay, so this is about the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure. Using these all support conditions now, we have to determine the kinematic indeterminacy of the given beam and frame structure. For example, since we are dealing with the unit number 4, stiffness matrix method for continuous beams, we will take 2 or 3 simple numerical examples of kinematic indeterminacy on a beam. So, So if you look at these 5 different types of beam I have drawn, question is to write down DKI, degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Degree of kinematic indeterminacy. It is also represented as D subscript Ki, DKI. So if you look at, it's very simple. You remember that table support wise. Now this beam has 3 support. Fixed support means there is no kinematic unknown. Translation as well as rotations are 0. If it is a roller support and if it is provided in beam, we know that there is only one unknown and that is rotation. So theta and theta. So decay of this beam is 2. Then second beam, fixed support 0, hinge support again. In case of beam, there is no difference in hinge and roller support because there is no horizontal force. So again there is a theta. Again there is theta at hinge support and dki is equal to 2 rotations. If you look at this beam, there are 3 simple supports. So at each support there is a rotation. So total dki equal to 3 rotations. Then fourth beam is fixed support 0, kinematic unknowns. Roller support 1, that is theta, and it is a spring support provided. There are 2 unknowns, theta and delta. So total dki is equal to 0 plus theta plus delta. Dki equal to 3, 2 rotations and 1 vertical displacement. If you look at this last problem, it is a fixed support. So dki equal to 0. Dki is equal to 0 here. The roller support 1, that is rotation. And this end point is the guided support. Guided support means there is only one kinematic unknown and it is delta, not rotation. So dki equal to 2, 0, theta and delta. Okay? So like this you have to calculate degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the given beam. It is very first step when you start the solution of continuous beam using stiffness matrix method. Very first step is to write down degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the given beam. So like this you can find out degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Okay? In the next class we will see that basic 2 approaches which are mentioned in your syllabus, that is structure approach and member approach. There are 2 approaches and unit number 4, unit number 5, unit number 6, beam, frame and grid. You have 2 parts in each unit. First part deals with the structure approach and second part deals with the member approach of the analysis. So in the next class we will see that what is the structure approach and member approach, and we will start the numerical example on beam problems. Okay, thank you very much.